getting there for me. My number one supporter. Amen. Amen. So I want to call your attention today to Psalm 40. We'll be reading from the NIV version. And we're going to start at verse 1. Psalm 40. I'm going to read from the NIV version. Amen. And if you're there with me in verse 1, it says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and he turned to me, and he heard my cry. Verse 2 said, he lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He not only did that, but verse 3 said he gave me a new song. He put a new song in my mouth. And it was a type of song. It was a hymn of praise to our God. And you know what? It wasn't just for me. It was for everybody. Because it said, many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. I was reflecting on this particular word that God had given us today, and I was reflecting on, the sermons that have been preached in November. It's almost like God is preaching his own sermon series, about self-reflection. I went back to the second Sunday, and Reverend Riley was talking about sin. We were talking about the dangers of sin and how sin pretty much gets in the way of what God is trying to do in our lives. So then I go on to the third Sunday, and Pastor Russell, he was coming from Psalm 42, where he talked about how we should pant for God just like the deer is panting for water, just longing for God. And he talked about how we should long for God. And after we understand our sin, how we should long for God, how we remember God, and how we should trust God. And then last week, we learned that how we should think now. So we recognize our sin, and now we're longing for God, and now we are understanding what God is going to do for us in terms of giving us this incomprehensible peace. Reverend Kevin, he talks about how we should think on these things that are good and honest and lovely, and things that are good rapport, and to receive this incomprehensible peace. And today, God is coming from Psalm 40, and the title of the word today that he's given is, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. So because the thing about it is that David, in this particular point in his life, he's remembering a pit experience, and he shows us how he came out of his experience. And I know a lot of times we don't want to talk about the pit experiences. Those are things we don't want to verbalize, because we think of it as a low place. We think of it as a place that none of us want to go. We think of it as a place of isolation, a cold place where death and destruction and discouragement lived. And we think and we know that these times are coming. We know that life is not perfect. I know we say up here all the time, life's not perfect. We know that. And we know that these times are coming. But it's something about the effect that it has on us when it comes. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that call that you didn't want to get. I'm talking about that conversation that you didn't want to have. I'm talking about that email where you see the headline and you hesitate to even open that email. I'm talking about that text message that could totally shift your life. See, the thing about it is because your pit could be anything that keeps you back, or you feel like it's holding you back from God. Your pit could be your poor health, or some type of health situation that you're going on. Your pit could be some type of job situation that's going on. Your pit could be, I know I'm going to be talking to somebody in a minute. Your pit could be a friend that is turned against you. Your pit could be somebody that's been unfaithful to you. Your pit could be some type of rebellion. Oh, I ain't walked down nobody's street yet. Okay. Your pit could be your rebellious children, or your pit could be some type of overwhelming problem to where you feel like, I don't know what to do at this point, but lean and depend on God. be a pit, but then, David mentioned, I'm not only in a pit, but I'm stuck. So sometimes your pit may be that the fact that I know what God has called me to, you see it. He has given you visions. He's told you what to do, but you feel stuck. You feel stuck in your business. You feel stuck in your career. You feel stuck in your ministry. You feel stuck in your health situation. And just like David, you may not be responsible for your pit situation. It may be the cause of somebody else. But guess what? Regardless of how you got here, guess what? We here right now. You in the pit. Maybe it was because of your own sin, like David said. Maybe because of somebody else. But regardless of how you got here, guess what? We here right now, and you got to deal with it at this point. And the thing about it is that these pit situations are temporary. So we don't want temporary decisions during this temporary. We don't want to make, let me say it like this. We don't want to make temporary decisions that will end up being lasting permanent results. You know what I'm talking about? How you get in those situations and all of a sudden you come outside of yourself. You do things that you wouldn't normally do. You say things that you would normally say, and you experience things that you would normally experience that make you act like you wouldn't normally act. And then those are the times you say, well, God know my heart. God know I get an attitude in those situations, so God know He know I'm gonna go off. You know you should be messing with me around that. So a lot of times we do it to ourselves, but we don't want to make temporary decisions that can have permanent results while we in the pit. When I was in Mississippi, we used to have a saying that said, "Pressure busts a pipe." Anybody ever heard that before? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience when everything is all good, but where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. Talk about the pit situations. And then in 2 Corinthians verse 12, he said, God said that my strength is made perfect when I'm weak. Like, how is that even possible? The fact that my strength is made perfect in my pit experience and when I'm weak. Well, that lets me know, those three things in particular let me know that regardless of what your situation is, regardless of what kind of pit you find yourself in, there is a way out. Come on, tell your neighbor, I'm coming out today. So because there is a way out, because how many know that just as many times as I've been knocked down, because we serve a powerful God, I've been picked right back up. Every time that I was down, God picked me up and turned me around and placed my feet on a holy ground. And every time that I was weak, God made me strong, because He specializes in turning situations around. He specializes in reaching down and pulling me up out of my situation. Okay, I guess I'm in the right place today. Okay, let me tell you who this message is for you. This word, so if it's not for you, you have permission to go ahead and leave. Okay? All right. So, this message is for those that have been in the pit. Anybody been in the pit? Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. So at least I know y'all ain't leaving. Okay? So, this message is also for those who have come out of a pit. Anybody ever come out of a pit? Oh, okay. All right. So at least I got the majority of people that's going to stay. All right. So if you've been in a pit and you've come out of a pit, well, the rest of the message is for those that you don't even realize or not, but you're about to get ready to go in one. Something is waiting on you when you come out of the door. I promise you that, because I know I can get a witness to say we done been in pit after pit. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what section of the world you come from. I know a lot of times right now the debate is black and white or urban versus rural. It doesn't matter where you come from. That everybody I know that has been through a pit, and God had to pick you up. And David is giving us strategies right here to do so. Yeah, I know I can get away, because I know you found something today because something you lost. I know you're stronger today because of times when you had to be. Where my single mothers at? You had to be strong in your weakest time, and you had to stand because you know how to stand, because you know what it feels like to be knocked down. You know what love feels like because you know what heartbreak feels like. You don't even realize it, but your testimony has helped more people than you can even imagine. But guess what? It never would have happened without the test. You never would have understood how strong you are without that test. You never would have understood how much you can lean and depend on God without that test. You never knew how much you can love somebody that was unlovable without that test. Can I get a witness in here today? So yeah, we learn a lot in that pit. So we learn and we appreciate and we go through all that emotional stuff that the pit it takes us through. But one thing that we need to remember is that always trust and believe that God is going to bring you out. So tell you today. So David gives us some strategies. He gives us some things that he done to come out of this pit. And the first thing that popped out at me is that it's the admission of your position. All right? It's admitting your current position. Being honest about that. Because David gives us some strategies to come out of the pit, because as a man of God who wrote this psalm, he wrote it in the midst of his struggles. He wrote it in the midst of his disappointments. He wrote it in the midst of his deep depression, and it's still blessing us today. Now this ain't even in my notes, but how many know that your testimony can help people that you don't even see? For years to come. Thousands of years after David has gone through this, and we still using it to help us today. So what you're going through is not just for you. Amen. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So think about this, though. Think about what has caused this depression that David is experiencing at this point. This deep depression that David is experiencing. You go from the country's hero. You done beat Goliath. After that, you done won battle after battle. You got people singing a song, just in your name. Then ultimately, you reunited the country of Israel. And then all of a sudden, because of your own sin, and then that being at the top come with haters anyway. So you already got haters, and then you do your own sin, which now at one time when you had everybody on your side, now it feels like you ain't got nobody on your side, including your own son who trying to take you down and trying to take your crown right there. So anybody ever been in that place where it feels like you ain't got nobody? Well, you're in a house full of people, but you still feel alone. You laying in the same bed with your husband or wife, but you still feel alone. So David is in this place right now, and he feels like he has no one. And the thing is, if we admit our current position, if we think about it, oftentimes we are in denial of our current state. We hang on to things that aren't true. We don't pay attention to things that's actually going on around us. We walk around with our blinders on, not realizing what's really going on. And what it actually does is we develop solutions for the wrong problem. Okay, so let me put it like this. I found out a couple years, was it last year, a couple years ago, I'm not sure, that my ankle just started hurting, my toe just started hurting real bad. I'm like, man, what is going on with my toe? So I go in a few months, and I just kind of chalk it up to whatever, saying, you know how we do as men. We say, hey, it'll get better. Men, we need to go to the doctor. I'm going to tell you that right now. You need to go get yourself checked out. But I did that thing, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor said, so, what are you eating? And I'm going to say, vegetables. What are you drinking? Water. I'm like, well, I can't figure out, are you taking your vitamin every day? Are you exercising all the time? She said, man, I cannot figure out what is going on with you. You're doing everything right. So I am going to just do this. And guess what happened? So I left out of there, and I was still hurting. Months later. So then I go back there, and I was just honest with the doctor. She said, oh, I figured something was going on here. I'm going to give you these pills, and that's going to take care of everything. And ever since I've been taking them pills, I've been all right ever since then. That's just like us. When we pray to God, we direct our prayers in the wrong direction sometimes, denying what's really going on. We praying God to fix somebody else. We praying God fix a situation when we need to be praying that God fix us. We need to be praying that God work on us and God pick us up and God turn us around and God do something different with us, as opposed to God telling God to always fix them and do something with them and God it's you. So God is saying, well, I'm trying to fix you and you worried about somebody else. Think about it. Now, David didn't do that. David was real about the situation. He was real about the situation. See, there were no cameras back then, so he used words that help us feel what he's really saying. He used words like pit. He used words like mud. He used words like miry. He used these words so we can understand that what he's feeling right now, because when you think of a pit, you think of being at the bottom of a well. You think that, help me preach, Brother Kevin, because it's not only cold, lonely, and you feel restricted, but and you're not even sure if anybody's coming. You know, just the simple air of daylight is something that you appreciate now. And not only are you in this place, but you feel stuck. And every time you try to move your feet, and every time you try to do it on your own, it feels like you sinking deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But the thing is that David was real about his situation. He was real about his situation, because if you understand where you really are, you understand what really works. And David understood what really worked in his really real situation. He said, when I've been here before, this ain't my first time being down here. And when I was down here before, I knew I could call on the name of the Lord, and the Lord will hear my cry. So if it worked before, it's going to work again. I heard somebody say, if he did it before, guess what he can do? He can do it again. So we got to name our issues. Come on, tell your neighbor, I got issues. And tell them, you do too. We got to be real about these issues. Man, we got issues. And be honest about it, because a lot of times we put the church facade on, and we want to say everything is all right all the time. And building is burning, and everything is all right all the time. No, you got to deal with that burning building. Say, God done put water right here to put the fire out, but you ain't even dealing with the fact that the building is burning, so you just keep on walking with your blinders on. So we coming out, because admit, being honest about what we are. David said another thing that David has taught us today is that I'm coming out with patience. Because the next lesson he has for us is to come out with patience. He says that in the first thing he said in the opening of this psalm is that I waited patiently on the Lord. Now, as you know, in this age that we're in the age of everything right now, nobody likes to wait for anything. Man, I was out in Domino's last night, and everybody had the same idea, I promise, to just order a pizza. I was in Domino's for about an hour and a half waiting on a pizza. And now you can imagine the things that I seen and heard while I was waiting in Domino's. And I was trying so hard not to laugh, because I didn't want to be directed towards me. You know, people get mad, they see people laugh.